It's Susie, Crypto Granny here. Today it's the 10th of January 2023, I should say. And I'm going to give you an update on Ripple, where we're at with the SEC and the FLR airdrop that happened on the 9th. Okay, so let's go through this. I hope you're all well, looking after your animals and being kind to related to 2018, where there was emails and documents describing that Ethereum and Bitcoin were not securities, but yet the SEC, according to William Hinman's speech, he was a corporate advisory person for the SEC, said that Ripple's XRP was a security. The commission has lost most of its assertions over the documents being excluded, and certainly the judge has constantly said to the SEC, please provide these documents to the public, okay? So eventually, we're waiting for the summary judgment, which is an existing dispute over the Hinman memos. Ripple is the latest filings mentioned that dispute documents are judicial documents. Ripple and the defendants highlighted the memos are relevant to the court. Now, Ripple is the defendant, okay, and the SEC is the plaintiff. The documents are relevant to the court's consideration of the parties' summary judgment motions, while the SEC has not been able to overcome the strong presumptions of public access. So what it's basically saying is the SEC consistently refuses to hand over those documents, even though Judge Annalisa Torres has denied the motion for the SEC to seal those Hinman documents. So Judge Annalisa Torres is saying, please provide those documents of Mr. Hinman's from 2018, the emails and whatever, and the Word documents, and please provide them for public scrutiny, and also so that Ripple can also look at them as well, okay? Ripple won a few notable actions, specifically a non-party labelled investment banker declarant who previously filed declarations supporting the SEC's probe into Ripple, so saying Ripple XRP was a security, and now they've filed a motion seeking to redact or take away that declaration. This declaration, the fact that it's been removed, is a great story for Ripple. This is something they won against the SEC, okay? And there have been many companies that have come up with amicus briefs to the court, which are basically friends of Ripple, saying that XRP security, okay, is a utility. So Jeremy Hogan, who's the main person, Hogan partner, attorney Jeremy Hogan, asserted that XRP community will soon find out the court's decision on the controversial Hinman documents. And this is his Twitter on the 10th. And it basically said, that the SEC has to come up with these documents. They're ignoring the judge, and the judge keeps asking to supply these documents. So in some ways, they're not listening to the judge and Annalisa Torres at all. They're basically a lord of their own, their own selves. So what we've got basically is here, Ripple has also argued regarding the Hinman documents in summary judgment motions, consequently asserting that they may be considered the court's summary judgment. So, they're saying they are not inadmissible. They had to be provided to everyone, to the public and to Ripple, okay? So what we've got here is, in response to this, the inquiries, expected Judge Torres will have to decide the fate of these controversial documents. Hogan noted the judge has ruled quickly on sealing motions so far. The attorney implied a time window of a week or two based on these precedents. So we just have to keep an eye out for this, guys and girls. Keep a very, very close eye on this. Certainly the Attorney John Deaton has speculated that Hinman documents were not the smoking gun the XRP could believe them to be, citing Ripple's sparse referencing them in briefs. The friend of the court on behalf of XRP holders suggests that while the documents may speak to the SEC's malicious intent, it is now not likely there was any mention of XRP as opposed to previous suspicion. So that's going to be interesting. We're speculating what's in these documents. That's what this is what this is saying, okay? So we're completely speculating about what was in those documents. And if they did provide them, then people aren't going to worry about it, right? Including Ripple. And that's pretty much the story, okay? So, Ripple moves to unseal the Hinman documents. I know this gets convoluted, all this legal speak, I should say, but the thing is, there's arguments for and pro, but Ripple pretty much says, Judge Torres, should be, putting down a motion that they have to come up with these documents. Now, apparently, allegedly, they've done this 6 times. The SEC has lost its assertion over the Hinman speech documents about 6 times in the XRP lawsuit. After receiving backlash from the court, the commissioner finally surrendered the disputed memos to Ripple and defendants. Meanwhile, it doesn't want these documents to go out to the public. Okay, so that's going to be very interesting to see if it does come out to the public. Seriously, it's it is admissible to the trial based on the trial having a complete record, because Ripple doesn't know how they came up with the security decision for XRP and not for Bitcoin or Ethereum. There doesn't seem to be much clarity. Plus, the SEC, has a dual response. 1 minute, Gary Gensler saying Ethereum is a non-security, and then it's, Gary Gensler, who's the head of the SEC, for the compliance area, is basically saying that Ethereum gets, POS or, proof of stake, and you're earning income on Ethereum, those that by staking Ethereum, effectively, Ethereum could be regarded as security. This thing just goes around and around in circles. And my question, and on these, I've got references too, if you want to look these up. But, the thing is, I'm always questioning, right, who's questioning the government, who's questioning, the SEC, what happens to law? The lawmakers make laws for themselves, the corporate watchdogs, who watches them? Because, they can just come out and keep fining people. 2 years ago, they were fining 1.8 billion. Last year, the year before last was 3.6 billion. And last year in 2022, they fined corporates, crypto corporates, essentially about 6.4 billion. So who watches the lawmakers and these sort of things? Who's the watcher for the corporate watchdog? And if the corporate watchdog, particularly, is that there's a vested interest or, a conflict of interest like there is with Mr. William Hinman in 2018, because he was also helping the Ethereum community and allegedly getting paid for it. So XRP Whale on Twitter, and I look at him a lot, thanks, man. He said XRP is getting ready for the biggest run in crypto history. The XRP Whale stated that the Securities Exchange Commission was hurting millions of investors with frivolous lawsuits and was hurting America's innovation beyond anyone's imagination. Additionally, towards the end of the tweet, he stated, she stated, XRP real whale. XRP is getting ready for the biggest run in crypto history, and showed a great chart as well. So thanks for her XRP whale. So it's about waiting here. So basically, this is the next step. We keep a close eye on this. There's some other references here if you want to go and have a look. As I said, he was the former SEC director, Mr. William Hinman, of the Division of Corporate Finance, William Hinman, and he basically was talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, it's not security. So it was a very contentious speech, and it was connected with Simpson Thatcher, was a part of the group that promotes Enterprise Ethereum. After leaving SEC, Hinman returned to Simpson Thatcher, which is basically a lawyer that promotes the Ethereum Enterprise, which is not a great story at all, because that is definitely a conflict of interest. Okay, let's go with FLR, people. FLR, the airdrops got done yesterday, and it was basically 4.279 bill. The founder of FLR is a fellow called Hugo Filion. He is the CEO and co-founder of FLR, and he basically said the airdrop is a significant milestone for FLR, as developers can now stake to develop advantages of FLR's Ethereum virtual machine and native data acquisition protocols to stay connected on FLR time series Oracle. These native protocols secured by the network provide decentralized access to highly integrated data from other blockchains and the internet, enabling the creation of new use cases and monetized models, as well as DeFi and CeFi. He went on to say, Mr. Phillips, Hugo Phillips from FLR, for the blockchain industry to flourish, we need more useful decentralization applications. FLR is tackling this through data, not just prices, but transaction details, Web 2 events, etc. They're going into Web 3 to build more applications, more decentralized, more DeFis, more CeFis, and increase the utility to a larger group of users. Mr. Hugo Phillips continued, FLR's objective is to enable developers to build great applications on API, on level 2, level 3, and also Web 3. So as you know, they've distributed 15% now, and the rest, the 85%, will just be distributed in 36 months. And we do find that a lot of exchanges have taken that up, more than 50 or so. It was 4.79 billion. And obviously, you know, all these 50 or 60 different exchanges. This has been a 2-year thing. So we're all very glad to receive our FLR. Before FLR actually came to the market a couple of days ago, on Bitra was traveling at 45 cents the US dollar tether. It's actually performed quite badly since that. And I think it's just people selling for profits, but I think, you know, this thing will eventually bounce. Okay, that's my feeling on this. You know, pretty much. So they've done 4.279 bill. There's, as you know, there's another 85% to come later on, and we just have to see how that goes. And anything that's not taken up basically gets burnt. Okay, so this is a terrific story. There's more references here if you'd like to look those up for your own information. But on screen, FLR today was 0.04017, has come down quite a bit, 81%, which is a big push. It's got total supply here of 12 billion, circulating supply 12 billion, and it doesn't tell us maximum supply at the moment. This is from live coin watch. If you look at the market depth of FLR, there's more bids than on the buys, but the token has come down quite a bit. It's obviously profit taking. The exchanges so far that are registering that they have FLR is OKEx, Bit.True, BitThumb, Gate, NEXC, Kraken, Qcoin, and Bybit. I checked bananas, but they're not there at the moment. Bit.True, the price is 0.041. As you can see, it's come off quite a bit. Also, there was something else I want to look at. Here we go. So if you look at these, you can see basically the buys and sells for the different exchanges. So we just have to wait and see if there's some performance in that. But look, I'm waiting for it to start trading, get more liquid before I, take any bets on it. That's for sure. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how this goes, guys and girls. So there's the disclaimer. Thank you very much for listening, and please do subscribe. Click that subscribe button because we're going to be doing a lot more YouTube. So I hope this is clear. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you.